Hey, what's going on? I'm Zach Zeller, America's #1 expert on snacking for busy people. And today, we're going to make some raw vegan gravestone cookies. So I have this mold for monster cookies, and I have an awesome recipe that we could use. So let's get to it. First off, I'm taking 4 tablespoons of walnuts, and I'm going to just blend them up into a little bit of a flour. So turning this into this. Also, the night before, you're going to want to take 3/4 of a cup of dates and put it with water so that they can soak. And so that's going to allow the dough to be very flexible so we could shape it the way that we want to. And also it's going to give it some chewiness and sweetness, of course. So we're going to open this back up. And I think it's easier to work with the dry ingredients before the wet ingredients. So before we drain out our dates and add it into our walnut flour, I'm going to add a little bit, probably fourth of a teaspoon of sea salt. Add that in. And then also got some pumpkin pie spice right here. And so we're gonna add about a whole teaspoon of that. And so this stuff combines cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, ginger, all of those, fall holiday spices that are really gonna knock the flavor of these cookies out of the park. So you don't need to blend this back up. You could just kind of mix it up. My amazing bartending skills here. Just kind of combine everything. And then we will drain this off and add it. Pour it in. Now, with this recipe, I'll show you something. I kind of cheated a little bit. I only had about half a cup of dates, and so I pulled in a few raisins to bridge the gap. Now, raisins are also another great dried fruit. It's going to just change the flavor a little bit, make it more raisiny, if that makes any sense. But, if you're missing an ingredient, you could substitute in a similar one. So, now I'm going to blend this into the dough. So keep your eye on it. Whoa, excuse me. I completely forgot to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Right in there. And now back to blending. I'm back with this cookie batter. Open it right up. Let's have a little taste. Go with my tasting spoon. Let's go. The sweetness of the dates is really complemented by all those spices we put in. You have a little bit of sweet vanilla, you have a little bit of those kind of spicy, aromatic ginger, cinnamon, allspice, nutmeg flavors. Plus, you have slight kind of like end notes of that nuttiness that help balance it a lot. Now let's get shaping these into cookies. Now, if you don't have a mold, you can let this set in the fridge for an hour, a few hours, and it'll start to kind of harden up and be easier to work with. But I have a mold right here, so I'm not gonna waste that time. What you can do is, especially with a mold and this kind of sticky batter, you can take like cling wrap or plastic wrap and put it down so that you don't mess up the impression you get from the mold when you try and take it out. So you can just kind of like pop it out with the plastic. So what I'm going to do is just add this all together, and then I'm going to start spooning it into the mold. So these are all set up. And now I'm just going to chill them overnight and then enjoy, then eat them. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I'm just gonna let these chill in the fridge overnight and pop them out tomorrow. Alright. So I'm Zach Zeller from thesnackhacker.com, and if you like the recipe and you like what you've seen, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, comment below, share, and subscribe to be notified when I put out new videos. Happy snacking. Hey, so I just yanked these out of the fridge, so let's see how they turned out. You know, just poking them, they feel pretty solid. Let's see, moment of truth. Dun, dun, dun. We got our little ghost, and we got our little skull and crossbones right here. These came out pretty cool, but let's see how cool they taste. It's cool. So that raisin and date flavor really combines to make the sweetness more two-tone, that you get both flavors coming through, which is really freaking cool. Also, and you have a lot of that spice coming in, which offsets some of the sweetness, so it's not just an incredibly sweet, sugary dessert. It has a lot of that flavor of fall with the nutmeg and ginger and the rest of those spices in the pumpkin spice mix. So this is definitely some good eats. And so I'm Zach Zeller from thesnackhacker.com, and if you like this recipe and want to share it, then give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, put those below, and don't forget to subscribe to find out when I put out new videos. Happy snacking.